So I'm going to show you how to create a listing flyer using your marketing materials on eEdge. First thing you want to do is go ahead and log into mykw. Then we're going to click on the plus sign next to My Marketing and create marketing materials. Now the great thing about these listing flyers is you can do lots of different things with them. Once you have one saved in your marketing materials, what you can do is you can email it to either groups or all of your contacts in your database directly through eEdge. You can also print it using your desktop printer, or you can order printing through Shutterfly. It's very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this little arrow next to flyers to give us some choices. And with the regular eEdge, so non-pro, we can click on this first one and get the single-sided flyers. If you have pro, you can go ahead and click on this one. You'll get lots more templates. Now you can also take these listing flyers with you to an open house if you need something at your open house. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose this template right here. Now you're welcome to look at all of the templates and decide which one you'd like to use, but I like this one. So I'm just going to click on it. Now I can preview it, but since I know I want to use this one, I'm just going to do Create Edit. Alright, now the next part it's asking me to select a listing. These listings are auto-populating from the MLS by MLS number. So assuming that you have the correct office ID in your account settings, then you should have all of the listings of your office or all of the listings in your particular office ID code. So you should be able to find your own listings in here. Now if you don't have anything here, or you're not finding your listings, then you're probably going to have to change your account settings. But in order to continue on for today, what you can also do is just select no listing at the very bottom, and you'll have to manually upload all the photos and enter your description and information about the property. Alright, I'm just going to select one of these so I can show you. So let's see. Take this one right here. So what I'm going to do first is just go ahead and copy this MLS ID because I'm going to need it in a little bit. So if you know your MLS ID, you don't have to do this, but it's a little easier. So we're going to do Submit. Now you are going to need to have Microsoft Silverlight installed and updated on your computer in order for this part to work, the editor to work. So if you don't have that, you're going to have to go ahead and download Microsoft Silverlight. So we're going to click on Start Editing. Now the first thing I want to do is you'll notice that there are two pictures that are the same. Obviously I don't want to have that. So I'm going to change out this picture right here for a different picture. So in order to do that, I'm just going to select the picture by clicking on it and click on Replace Image up here. Now I have several choices for how to replace the image. If I have an image already uploaded, I can choose it there. I can browse to find an image on my computer. I can use a stock image, or I can also look at the pictures that are coming off of the MLS for this particular property. So that's going to probably be the easiest way usually for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this image right here. Now you'll notice that the image is now above this little circle. So in order to get that below the circle, I'm just going to click on Layer Down. Alright. Now if I wanted to change any of the other images out, I could also do that. And I would do the same thing. Just click on the image, click Replace Image, and then change it out from the MLS. But I think these are pretty good, so I'm going to leave that. Now the next thing I want to do is change this little default text right here that says header goes here. So I'm just going to make that something a little catchy. Alright, so we have that in there. I'm just going to move it up a little bit, so just get your cursor to where it's the Move tool, and we're just going to slide it up. Now here I'm also going to have to move it up because this description that's coming from the MLS is too large, and it's covering up my logo, so I'm just going to move it up a little bit. Now you're welcome to change this description totally if you want to, or just change some little things about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a link to the listing because I'm going to email this flyer to potential buyers. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is in a separate tab up here, so not in the same tab, but in a separate tab, I've opened up my eEdge website. And what I'm going to do is just find this listing. So I'm going to go to More Options right here in the search. And then I'm just going to paste in that listing ID that I had earlier so that I can find the listing. I'm going to go ahead and do Search. Alright, and I've got this home right here on Monte Rosso, which is the same home. So I'm just going to click on it. And up here at the top now I've got an address, a URL. So once I'm in the listing, I can come up here and just select that and copy it. And we're going to go back over to the editor in our other window. And I'm going to, right here, click here to view listing. Online. Okay, so in order to make that a link, what I'm going to do is just select the whole thing, highlight it, and then up here there's a little button, it looks like a chain, and it says insert hyperlink. I'm going to click on that and just paste using Command V or Control V. Alright, there we go. So that should be a link to the actual listing online. Now what I could also do is we're going to move this over here. Actually, let's move some of this stuff up. So if you wanted to change that, you always can. I'm just going to scoot it up a little bit. Here, as you can see, it's brought in some of the information from the MLS, but some is missing, like lot size. Now that's not important for this because it's a condo, so I'm just going to delete that. Square feet, I might want to go ahead and do that, so if I were to go back and look and get the information about it, 2665 is the square feet, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, we have heating. Now if I don't want to put in like garage, if that's not important to me, then I could put pool, for example, or any other information that I wanted to add in here, any other specifics that I wanted to give. For example, okay, that's not true, but you can change this around, add any additional specs that you want to. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is come up here. Now you're going to want to check and just make sure the address is correct. And up here there's some blank space. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another text box up here so that I can put some kind of catchy phrase. So I'm just going to make this text box fit in here. All right. Now I can format this because obviously that little bitty text is not that pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in a script, and I'm going to make it larger. And this is basically just like you would do on Word, the formatting for Word. All right, so there we go. So we have that. I can make it slightly larger just to make sure it fits. I'm going to center it in there. And I'm going to also change, whoops, I'm going to also change the color of it. So you can do that by clicking on the little color box with the A. We're just going to choose something nice and kind of green about that. Alright, so we can go ahead and leave that there. Now the other thing I was going to show you is you can add a link to, for example, all of the properties in this particular area or community, because maybe someone sees this and says, well, I don't really want a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, I'm looking for something else. So you do want to give them that option. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add another text box right in here. Just going to make a small text box. And we're going to go back over to that other tab that we had, and I'm going to go back to my searching, so more options. And in here I'm just going to search for the subdivision. Whoops. Alright, we left something on. Make sure your listing ID is not still selected, otherwise it's only going to bring back that one thing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and search. Alright, and we have 73 homes in this particular subdivision, so it would be great to go ahead and let people look at all of those homes. So the same thing, I'm just going to, once I've gotten all of those, I'm going to go up here and copy that address. And we're going to go back over to our editor and we're going to say Alright, so we're also going to make this one a link. So remember, we click on the little link button, and then we're going to just Command V to insert that link. Alright, there we go. Now if I wanted to format that a little bit, I could also format it. It's up to you. And you can go ahead and continue adding things, adding and removing or changing, just to make it pretty. Now at the bottom, you do want to check and make sure that your logo is coming up properly, that your photo is coming up properly, that all of your contact information is correct. Now if there is something that's not correct in your contact information or your photo is not right, then those are things that you'd want to go back and change in your account settings so that they'll automatically populate correctly for the next time and you don't have to manually change them every time. The last thing I'm going to do is just kind of click in here, and I have a link for my website, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight it and just make it a clickable link by inserting the hyperlink and clicking on OK. Alright, so that way if anybody wants to go ahead and click there and see my full website, they can. Alright, so that's basically it. There's a lot of different things that you can do with these property flyers. As far as just changing it around a little bit, you can play with all those different templates, play with adding some different information to it. If you'd like to add your mobile app code, this is my mobile app logo. You could always add that as a separate photo if you wanted to, or you can add it like mine as a default. It's up to you. So you can keep playing with that. As soon as you've got it the way you want it to be, then you're just going to click on the Save As, and then choose a name for it. So we're going to call this you might want to save it as the exact name of the property or the address of the property. That's probably the easiest way. So click Save. Now, if there is an image alert like this one, it's just telling you that the image quality is not necessarily that great in the logo that I have, which is my QR code. And that's okay for me because I'm just going to be emailing it, so I don't need to worry about it. But if you were printing it, you want to make sure that you're using high quality photos that are print worthy. So that's okay. It saved it. Now I'm just going to exit, and I have to tell it that yes, I know that the image quality is not that great. Alright, so we exited. It's brought us back out to our marketing materials and into saved pieces. And as you can see, I have a couple of saved pieces. This is the one that I just saved for Monte Rosa Lane. So from here, I have a number of different options of what I can do with this. If I click on it, it's going to give me my options. So as you can see, I can preview it. I can edit it again if I want to, if I need to make a change. I can go ahead and desktop print it, just print it directly from my printer. I can order printing, and the printing goes through Shutterfly. So you can just go ahead and pay for it online. It's not very expensive, it's a great deal. So, and make sure you're using a coupon code if you are going to use it. So you can do that. You can also email it directly, and you can post it to a website. Now, posting to a website just puts a little link that says link to my greeting card, or just a regular link, which you're welcome to do, but it's not going to actually show the entire flyer on your website. It'll just be a link to it. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to show you how to email it. So if we click on email, then what I need to do next is go ahead and add or remove some contacts. So I would click in the box. Now your contacts that you want to add to this have to already be in your eEdge database. If you don't already have them in your eEdge database, then you're going to need to go back, add them to the eEdge database, and then come back and send your flyer out. So what I would do is either select my contacts individually, or I can click on groups, and if I do have a group in here that I want to send it to, I can select that. So once I have it, I'm just going to send it to myself just to preview it. And I do recommend sending things to yourself just to see what happens when you do it. So I would put yourself in as a contact and do that. So once I have that, I'm going to click Add. So you can see I'm here. And we're going to do Done. So as you can see up here, it's added myself to this to line. Now I'm going to put a subject like make sure it's something catchy that people will want to open when they get the email in their inbox. Now the flyer is going to come in at the bottom of this email, but I do recommend that you go ahead and type something in here as well. And what I would do is at least type the URL that goes to that property, because in case someone can't get their images to show up and they can't see the flyer in their email, then you've kind of lost them. So what I'm going to do is I just came back and I copied the address again for where this listing is actually located. And I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to say something like, can't see the images below. Click here to view the listing online. All right, and I'm just going to, whoops. All right, so I'm just going to highlight the part that I want to change into the link, so click here. And the same thing, I'm going to use the little chain. Oops, just click on it. And we're going to add in this link. Now you can set it to open in a new window if you want to, it's up to you. Alright, so we're going to put that in and just insert the link. You can go ahead and write some more about it if you wanted to, if you thought that the flyer wouldn't come through. It's up to you, but I do suggest that you go ahead and write at least something and probably put a link in there. So before you send it, if you want to preview it, you can click on the little preview email button. It takes a second for it to open up, but there you go. So what they're going to see at the top is this line of text that I wrote, and then in the bottom will just be the flyer integrated. And as you can see, I've also got all of my social media buttons that come up, the Keller Williams address and things like that. Now, if any of those things are not coming up properly in yours, or you're missing things, then this is something that needs to be changed in account settings. Alright, so if that's okay, then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and click on Send Email and confirm it. And there you go. So it's going to be sent shortly. It's in the queue. So I just want to go ahead and check back later on, make sure that the listing came up properly in my email. And then when I'm done, I can always come back into my saved pieces and select that listing and do whatever I want to do with it. Go ahead and print it out, send it to some more people. It's up to you.